Okay, I'm going to date myself. Does anyone remember Here Comes the Judge? Here comes the judge. Flip Wilson, the original drag queen. Okay. Good morning to all of you here in the new sanctuary of Metro East Unitarian Universalist Congregation, and greetings to those watching this service remotely. This is a welcoming religious community, and we are so glad you are here. I am Allison Lamoth, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am delighted to welcome you all here today. It is so good to see you all here, whether new friends, longtime members, or returning folks, and I hope that you will all take the time in coffee hour to reach out to someone new and say hello and offer them a welcome. We welcome everyone to this home of comfort, spirit, justice, and hope. We are Unitarian Universalists. And now the choir will be singing the prelude.
Woo! Choir debut! Yay!
Well, here, how do we show this in the choir?
How do we?
You're up.
I'm on one. Okay. Thank you.
Meanwhile, they're looking at me like, are you okay?
Did you get enough sleep last night?
No. Until someday.
Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
About 5 minutes. Exit.
Oh, wait.
We're gonna do happy birthday.
We're gonna
in the
do
same-
after the service.
Oh.
Okay. He's already out there playing.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, we're not bothering that. No. Okay. I'm not gonna interrupt that. Okay.
I don't hear you screaming.
Okay. So we're going to need Carmen to come and light our chalice for us. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're gonna put some. Yeah. Now push it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try something. I have one of these. This one doesn't work exactly. There, okay. So once you do that, you push that with the spark.
And we have different words.
Okay, there we go. An important ritual in the Unitarian Universalist faith is the lighting of our chalice. Unitarian Universalists have many different interpretations of the flaming chalice, including the light of reason, the warmth of community, and the flame of hope. If you are watching elsewhere and have a chalice or candle, please light it, and join us now as we say the unison words projected on the screen. As we light our chalice today, chalice, chalice, burning bright, help remind us with your light of how we'd like to live each day with love and truth. Help us lead the way.
I am Eden, your ministerial fellow. Join me in a spirit of prayer. Spirit of community, we come to name the truth. There are people who make love feel impossible, who push every button we didn't know we had, who seem almost designed to test the very limits of our humanity. Our hearts contract around these relationships like fists. protecting our old wounds that never quite healed. We itemize their faults, build cases for our justified anger, forget that they were once children too, who needed tenderness. Grant us eyes to see past the armor to the wounds beneath. Help us recognize that cruelty is often just pain that has nowhere else to go. That the hardest people to love are frequently those who most desperately need it. This does not mean accepting harm or abandoning boundaries, but may we find the fierce grace to hold both protection and compassion, remembering that even the most difficult souls are traveling their own mysterious journey towards healing. When love feels impossible, help us choose dignity anyway. When understanding fails, let kindness remain. Amen and blessed be. Welcome. I invite you to take a moment and greet someone you don't know this morning, or make a new connection over coffee hour. And maybe we can ask each other, if we're not in costume, what we would be wearing if we were. And then we'll turn to the hymnal in 124.
That's going to be the gray one. So you have one and I have one.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I know.
Well, I thought, honestly, this is a new period for you. Consistency can help. You know, so you're welcome. I taught a long time. Young adults, I kind of feel like, what a new.
Values, yeah. It is a tradition here at Metro East UU congregation to place each service within the larger values of the Unitarian Universalist tradition. This week, we lift up the values of generosity and transformation. As we center compassion in this service, we know that it takes some generosity, some time to settle in, to be gentle with ourselves, to be able to see more clearly what is happening. And in that way of seeing more clearly, we transform. We are invited to look again, to make the old new again. and to allow ourselves to be the new thing and the new movement and the old movement that we are. And next we have a reading from John O'Donohue, who was a priest, but then he went outside of the Catholic order because he saw things more clearly and a different spaciousness outside of the faith that he had served. He says in an interview, "It takes great courage and grace to feel the call to awaken. It takes greater courage and more grace still to actually submit to the call, to risk yourself into these interior spaces where there is often little protection. It takes a great person to creatively inhabit her own mind and not turn her mind into a destructive force that can ransack her life. You need compassion for yourself, particularly in the American society, because many people in America identify themselves through the models and modules of psychology that inevitably categorize themselves as a syndrome. Lovely people feel that their real identity is working on themselves, and some work on themselves with such harshness. Like a demented gardener who won't let the soil settle for anything to grow, they keep raking, tearing away the nurturing clay from their own heart. Then they're surprised that they feel so empty and vacant. Self-compassion is paramount. When you are compassionate with yourself, you trust in your own soul and your own understanding, which you let guide yourself. Your soul knows the geography of your destiny better than you do." So in those words and in that reflection, there's many things that we carry in through our weeks to be able to put down together. We enjoy this ritual of joys and sorrows to share in this practice together, because home for us means a place where we can each share the things that weigh down our souls and that fill us with joy, and where those we love surround us in good times and in turmoil. If you would like to recognize a joy, a sorrow, or a milestone, you can come forward and place a stone or several stones in the water bowl to represent your joys and sorrows. There are stones here at the front, and I invite you now to come forward down this aisle and across, choose one, place it in the water, and then return down this aisle to where you came from. If you're not able to navigate this for any reason, just raise a hand and someone will place a stone in for you. Because in this place, we bear one another's burdens and share one another's care. Let us be in the spirit of prayer and meditation together. Talk with everyone right here, and then we'll have a parade of our costumes, if you're wearing some or not. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take this. No, I'm not. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna remember. Here. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So can our friends of Young at Heart, or our young people, come over here? Awesome. Yay. I see so many characters. So I have a little story for us this morning. So there was a lion asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. A timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, and in her fright, haste to get away, ran across the lion's nose. Oh no. And then, roused from his nap, the lion laid his huge paw angrily on the tiny little creature, maybe to kill her. And then she says, "Spare me," begged the poor mouse. "Please let me go, and someday I will surely repay you." The lion was much amused to think that a mouse could ever help him. But he was feeling generous that day, so he let the mouse go. Some days later, while stalking his prey in the forest, the lion was caught in the tangles of a hunter's net. Unable to free himself, he filled the forest with his angry roars. The mouse knew the voice and quickly found the lion struggling in the net. Running to one of the great ropes that bound him, she gnawed at it until it split apart. And soon the lion was free. "You laughed when I said I would repay you," said the mouse. "Now you see, even a mouse can help a lion." So, with that story, we can remember that wherever we are, however small or big, we know that we can help each other and we can give something to each other. And now is the time for the parade. So we're going to play some music and follow our yellow mustard leader. Okay. So our next hymn is in the gray hymnal or on the wall. It is 134. Our world is one world. Yay. What is the first and most important rule of tennis? These are good. Maybe.
You can tell you've got lots of tennis pros.
Growing up, Coach Hank, with his racket in hand, would ask us, what is the most important rule of tennis? We, being middle schoolish, spin our rackets wondering who will raise their hand this time. I decided it was my turn and sheepishly raised my hand. I said, to have fun. He said, that's right, Eden, to have fun. I didn't know it at the time, but this would not just be a rule for tennis, but for life. Somehow this lesson internalized deep within me an attention, an inner attention. Was I having fun or not? It also meant that tennis wasn't about winning or losing. And as we would walk off the court after a game or a match, Coach Hank would say, no matter the score, did you have fun out there? And he meant it. And we would say yes, and he would give us a high five. Coach Hank is someone who influences me and is a person I hold dear in my lineage. This week is Halloween and All Saints, a tradition and a time of year to commune with and honor the lineage who has gone before us, whether a part of our family, a part of our spiritual life, or some other way. We honor them. And I want you to take just a moment and think about one person who has nurtured you, who helped you along the way, who saw you in a meaningful way, who encouraged you to follow your heart. And whatever your beliefs are, to your own honoring be true. Maybe it's a prayer of gratitude, maybe a meditation, maybe a card or a text, whatever it is. Think of them now. And commit to it. So you might be thinking, what does compassion have to do with the most important and number one rule of tennis, according to Coach Hank? Compassion in its definition is a deep concern for another's suffering, a concern that comes to care, to act in a way that is in line with the witness of suffering. So even in this definition, compassion can sometimes seem, I'm so compassionate or so kind, but it's a witness, it's a seeing to the suffering. And so to have compassion, we must see, feel, look up from our own day-to-day patterns. And in this lesson, and one of the most important rules of tennis is to have fun, is to set in us an awareness to how we feel about what's going on, how we can widen our vision, to do a self-check-in. As a mystic, one who orients towards the unitive ground of things, he is one of my first teachers on this path. Because play and fun can be had at any point of the game of life. We have to choose it. It's intentional, it's subtle. And in this lesson and in the day by day, it is to orient the eyes to witness the game as not just a game, I found it sometimes funny and sometimes sad to play against kids who confuse their own worth with a scoreboard. And that is not to say it wasn't tempting for me to do the same, right? But this lesson also stood between me and over-identifying with the wins either. It helped me and my teammates to have good courtside conduct because it's just a game. We're here to have fun. Thank you for being here so we can have fun, right? It was the gift of playing, of having fun. And at the level of spirit, this means that I was learning not to attach to these concrete situations in life at a young age, and to witness it in my body as an embodied practice. It wasn't just something I was thinking, it was something I was doing and practicing. You know, just like in the story of the lion and the mouse, we see more and more each day that we could be the mouse or the lion on any given day, depending on how things stand. And I wonder how you're doing with that. With the attachments to gauging how well you're doing on the conditions outside of yourself. How much are you able to gauge and take a deep breath and witness? How often do you think you can ask yourself, am I having fun? Am I living a life worth living? And who is the person in your life asking you, but did you have fun out there? Can you believe in a life that is playful in this way? Can you have compassion for yourself that is the life that you are currently choosing to live? This is the thing we don't often realize about living a spiritual life. It is not always sunshines and rainbows. Being compassionate witness means we also have to let go, move on, or redefine the conditions we choose to be in. And I want you to hear the word choice here. Choose to be in. We choose everything. Even the things required of us, like going to the DMV and getting my license renewed. It's a choice, so I don't have an expired license, right? It's a choice I can make. I had so much fun playing tennis. I went on to play D3 college level in undergrad. But when I got there, I was so confused to find my teammates didn't know about the first rule of tennis. Nobody had told them we were here to have fun. And I had a coach who definitely didn't know it either. You know, because I didn't know how to be motivated by beating the other team, because it wasn't about that. We have to, do all this conditioning so that we're better. The lesson had gotten so through in my bones that it just didn't make sense to me. And the thing was, Hank would explain the first rule, and then he would also say, what is the second rule? The game's not over until it's over. This meant that me and my doubles partner, Georgia, his daughter, we grew up together playing doubles. We were the comeback kids. Maybe the first match wouldn't go our way, but we knew we had the second. And when we know that we could know that the game is not over until it's over, we could play freely, to have fun, to be there, to be present. And then he would go on and say the third rule, and then, probably something practical. Like he was definitely teaching us practical things too. He trained us well to win. But with my college teammates, I wondered, the game is not over, but yet I'm no longer willing to play it this way. And I stuck with it for a year. I asked myself, am I going to keep doing this? No one is making me wake up to do this. And this is definitely not what I grew up doing. This is not that. Yet the sports didn't change. And in John O'Donohue's interview, he talks about the courage to not only hear the call of the genuine, but to submit to it. And I got my courage together to go to my coach's office and quit. And I wish I could tell you I've picked up a racket since. And I don't know if I have very regularly. And Coach Hank would definitely be disappointed to know that. But the lessons I learned there, I still live by. And that letting go meant I made space for myself to study abroad and to make new friends and to have my weekends, to try out new communities, to make new connections. So what do we do with this? What do we do with compassion and action, with the witness of suffering? I do not think this is simply a personal question for a personal or even a private spiritual transformation. This is not a gratitude practice for we are accepting breadcrumbs and to keep ourselves in servitude to the whims of those who do not see themselves or others clearly. It takes courage as a congregation to sell a building and spiritual home and to start anew. And I know we are so grateful for the Masons for being a temporary landing space. And we are outgrowing this space. We need more room for people to sit and softer ground for our kids to be taught in. And I witness these pains and compassion in a compassionate way that, the grief of what was and what can never be. We cannot literally go back to the space in Alton. And that might logically sound true, but sometimes our feeling bodies still need to know, hello, we're doing something new. It's okay to grieve. And it's okay to be in the discomfort of where we are and in the confusion of where will we find a home. The longing of stability in an unstable world is a reasonable feeling. And that feeling of safety and security is necessary for us to play and have fun. And I must say that for those who never knew that old building, this temporary home is home. It's enough. We are enough because we are here together. We are the old and the new coming together to care for each other once again. At the board retreat, we started exploring this concept of the next elegant step. Adrienne Marie Brown says, my friend Gibran Riviera once articulated a question to me. What is the most elegant step? Oh, I love this question. Too often we come up with plans that don't take into account the fog on the horizon. Then we go off and the work doesn't happen. Perhaps can't happen. And then we feel demoralized because our energy doesn't flow into action. An elegant step is one that acknowledges what is known and unknown, and what capacity of this group actually is. An elegant step allows humility, allows people to say, actually, we need to do some more research. Or actually, we need to go talk to some folks not in this room. Or actually, we need to find a full day to build this plan out into something realistic and attainable. It takes courage to witness where we are and as the changing tides of democracy shift in this country. When we bear compassionate witness, it means the courage to stand in what we believe and to, again, discover what it is to be on the side of truth. and the permission and grace to honor that we only know what we know when we know it. This life is a process. Being a person is one part of the being amidst a society in process. Sometimes we call being a UU is part of being a progressive faith. And I just want to say, this faith is old. This path that we call being UU is as old as human presence. In my art history class, we learned that what was conceptualized as human society was the archaeological proof of a healed thigh bone. It was the tangible act of care, that someone had to be down for long enough to heal and for someone else to feed them. As UUs, we belong to a history of people who care, who do not seek to put religious words or identity between us as walls, but to witness the bonds of care that make us human in the ways we know it to be true. We share in the courage to stand up for what we believe in, to care for each other, to dream of a way forward that will protect the vulnerable within and without this congregation. We come here to witness to a life that is not spent on our screens and is not informed by a typical way of living. I believe and I witness to the way we create a piece of heaven on earth and a promise to live in a way of intention together here. The pain we carry matters here. The joys in our lives matters here. The ways we are different matters here. And as I close, this is the last story of Hank. Hank's daughter, Georgia, is my same age, and Coach Hank coached whatever she wanted to play. So I first met Coach Hank when I was maybe 6 or 7 at soccer. And in 3rd grade, we switched to basketball. And by 5th grade, I was playing tennis. We rotated days of the week, but eventually we were playing tennis every Friday night. As the sun went down, I would see Hank go to his car and sometimes reappear in a suit that he wore as an attorney during the day, while we would be cleaning up the balls on the court. And I wondered why he would get so dressed up at night. And I learned he was going to Temple. Sometimes Georgia would go too, and I would ask to join. I grew up with Jewish friends who identified as strictly Jewish. And I knew them more for their populist parties, good food, and deadhead stickers on their cars lining up the cul-de-sac than the Friday nights at Temple. I joined Hank and Georgia one night after tennis, and Georgia showed me around the Saturday school hall where she worked with the kids and pointed out the ruins of what was left of the 1958 bombing in Atlanta, and told me about the work of Rabbi Jacob Rothschild. I sat and stood and sang with them at the service. At dinner afterwards, I asked what they had to believe in to be Jewish. Coming from a Christian stance where beliefs are what bound us, it made sense to ask. And that's when Hank told me the joke. If you're having a conversation with 2 Jews in a bar, there'll always be 3 or 4 opinions. He said that the people who go to Temple do not have to agree on anything, really, even a belief in God. I had never considered until that day with Hank and Georgia that a religious community, a community of belonging and culture, could be made up of people who do not believe around the same things. There was this permission I felt that they had in a way that I couldn't seem to access before in my tradition. To be accepted exactly as they are. And by extension, they accepted me as I was all this time. Because I didn't go with them until I was a senior in high school. So they had been living this acceptance. And they lived it with all my many questions. I'm sure I asked about their community and faith practices, and they invited me in and showed me a level of what it means to be human that I hadn't yet experienced, showing me the ways of unconditional community and hospitality that felt real. a place where there's no moral high ground of who is right and who is wrong, who wins and who loses. Because everyone was a little right and wrong, depending on who you asked. As UUs, we celebrate being a place like that, a place where you unconditionally belong. You have little faith, you have great faith, you have no faith. You have great practice, you have little practice, you have no practice. As a community, we enact the place of a piece of heaven on earth, or others might say a presence or awareness to be able to hold each other in this dignity and regard. In such respect and such dignity as pieces of interconnected web, a place to ask questions, a place of integrity, a place of unconditional welcome. This is who we are. A place that shows up to No King's protests and holds drag events, and that's just this month. A place for our kids and the young at heart to dress up, to play and to have a little fun. A place to remember that there's an important dimensions of relationship to have outside of the winning and losing, the agreeing and not agreeing. Because what you believe and who you are different. We come here to have fun and sit on solid ground together and to witness the passing events of our days and to speak and to stand up in action, to widen our vision. It is not what divides us who makes us who we are. It is the love that unites us that makes us who we are, with all of our particularities intact. Now we will turn to the hymn in our teal hymnal, or on the wall. It's 1008, When Our Heart is in a Holy Place.
I need somebody to.
Jamie. As Jamie passes around the offering basket, I offer the gentle reminder that this community of faith is supported only by your giving. Stewardship is more than just financial donations, but is also about donating time and talent to help our church. If you can't write a check, please help our church survive and thrive by offering your time to help make coffee and bring snacks, serve as an usher, serve on other committees such as helping with worship on occasion. Please donate as you can. All are needed to help our church to prosper. Also, if you give cash, please let us know who you are by filling out an envelope, which is in the basket, so we know who is eligible to vote by giving time, talent, and treasure. However, if this is your first time here, you are not obligated to give, as we want this service to be our gift to you. If you are willing to donate your time and talent, please contact a board member and let us know what you would like to do and what you can do to help. Give what you will and what you are able, for you are a generous people. And please join me in this offering prayer. May this offering equip us to inspire love and to seek justice. Thank you. And announcements, church announcements next week on El Día de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Robin Berkeley is up. November 9th, Eden Johnson will return to the pulpit. On November 16th, Dr. Nicole Davis is coming. I was going to say, I think we might know who she is. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Eden is Eden. Hey, again on November 23rd. And on November 30th, Sayer Johnson. Today there's no breakdown. Oh, always a good idea. Always a good idea. Next.
We had the new date on the schedule that they said, I forgot what date it was, do you remember? It was in that email. Let me check it while you're doing that.
Okay, well, we'll update as needed.
Yeah.
Next week, we have to break down everything. Following week, the 9th, we have to set up without breakdown, and on the 16th, there is no breakdown. Community announcements are next. Are there any? Okay. There is an event on the 8th, Saturday the 8th, at the SIUE Filler Dome, hosted by the Baha'i Faith from 10 to 12. The theme is Building a Vibrant Community, the Role of Youth and Children. And anything else?
November 8th.
Okay. And Robin also has an announcement.
So it's November 8th that they want to have it. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm a little brain dead right now, so bear with me.
You know why.
Yeah. We had a good time last night.
We did.
Obviously, we know November 1st, SNAP benefits are going to disappear, right? So in the past, what we did when we were in Alton was we had personal care products. We had our little store. It's not something we can do easily right now, but what we would like to do is dedicate one donation, and I know we're going to figure that out with the board. They're going to tell us which day it will be, to have one donation go towards the food bank here in the area to make sure that they have money to be in preparation for the holiday season, because it's going to be big. And then second, we can work with Alan to collect things that are needed. And so we'll coordinate with Alan. I just want to let you all know in advance that we want to be able to do this. Let's do it big. Let's make sure that our name is out there, that we are stepping up to the plate and making this happen. Did we ever, did you guys talk about at the last board meeting about getting the t-shirts as a fundraiser? Are we on board with that? Yes. Yay! So we'll work with that. We'll get it and we'll make that happen. So the goal also in a call that Dee sent to us was like, we need to have t-shirts that show our unity in what we're doing. So we're going to have a t-shirt sale thing as a fundraiser and also for us to have shirts that we are going to be doing. So that's what I got. I'll see y'all next week.
So this is, oh, Mary.
The newsletter deadline is this evening.
The newsletter deadline is this evening. And
Information yet from people who are supposed
might even have it almost right now.
Okay.
You can give the stink eye to your grandson.
That's okay. So before I extinguish the chalice, I did want to mention, I don't think I saw Eden last night at the drag queen bingo, but someone did ask one of the drag queens what the meaning of life was. And you know what she said? It was to have fun. So I mean, if you don't think that there aren't pearls of wisdom in a drag queen show, you haven't been at a drag queen show. So.
Years ago, when we had Stephen Mead was here, and he was our director of religious education, and he always said for the kids, have fun and learn something. So
In that order.
Theme, so
In that order.
beautiful.
Okay. So I invite you to join me in reciting a prayer as I extinguish the chalice. The light of truth in me cannot be put out. We are keepers of this flame until we meet again. Oh, and do we have one last song before the postlude or after? We have to sing to somebody. It's somebody's special day. We should have everybody in here when that happens, right? Yeah. Can you go get the special guest? Okay. We are going to sing. Yep. Yep, the littlest, one of the littlest members of our church.
John Mary. You got me.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome. I got you.
Oh, so do you want to do your closing words now or after the song?
We can do the closing words now.
Okay.
Well, here we go.
I
Let's
don't
just do it.
know.
Let's do the song first. Yeah.
There you go, Vinny. It's all for you, buddy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vinny. Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
I think he's a fan.
As we close, may we know that it's important to ask ourselves, are we having fun? Is this play? And to go and do it, and to defend, to protect our play, because it is our life source. May it be so.
I heard him say that.
No? You sound
That's right, this is his corgi. This is corgi.
Yep, it is.
You're welcome.
It's totally why I did my nails this color.
They were really orange.
Let there be
perish the way of terror. Hallow the world God made.
I smell some Swedish meatballs.
All right. You got to stand. Perfect.